Welcome to the Shekina Meditation Podcast, created by Shekina community members. Shekina communities are dedicated to creating free devotional spaces of Christian practice for spiritual seekers and travelers around the world. We post Christ-centered guided meditation each week to help you in your personal or small group practice. You can find episode show notes and other information at shekinacommunity.com.
Hello, this is Ro.
This is Ray.
And it's week 61 of the podcast.
It's Thursday the 16th of January as we record this, and we are at the garden. And it's the middle of a long work day. Today's our gardening day.
And we're in a new little spot. Well, it's an old spot that's been rejazzled to its former glory. Lots of rice husks.
It's a nice little sitting spot in the food forest.
It's quite dreamy at this time of day.
It's actually a pretty beautiful day. It's not been that hot at all today. But it's nice and sunny and the sky's blue.
Yeah, it's quite lovely.
Listeners, this podcast is supported by you. Because this podcast is about meditation, we want to keep it ad-free. Our beloved patrons at patreon.com support us for as little as $1 a month, and patrons get extra audio every month. You can find us at patreon.com/Shekina Meditation Podcast.
And another way that you can support us is by rating and or reviewing us on iTunes. Or you could email the podcast to a friend or tell the world. Maybe print it on a t-shirt.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
I listen to Shekina Meditation Podcast.
Yeah.
Ask me about Shekina Meditation Podcast.
Instead of printing it, you could just write that on a piece of paper and then safety pin it to your shirt.
Oh, I like it. Yeah, stylish.
That would be easier.
So supporting this podcast really does help Shekina communities to keep running and to be free for travelers and spiritual seekers. And it also helps us know that you appreciate what we're doing in putting this podcast into the world. Patrons, you're the best.
The very best. Thank you
really
so much.
You help so much. You're like a ripe papaya straight from the tree.
Yes. Ro, did you take a papaya down today?
I didn't, but I chopped it up and ate it.
Oh, and it was right from the tree,
So good. So delicious. Thank you, patrons. It's really quite a simple thing to sign up to be a patron. And it helps us so much, even just a tiny little bit.
Yeah, maybe tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so it's like a website for creative endeavors. I think that's basically the idea of most of the Patreon accounts. Are folks who are doing things that they're releasing into the world for free, but then if people want to contribute to pay for it, so to speak, in air quotes, or to contribute towards the ongoing work that artist is doing. So a lot of podcasts use it, a lot of visual artists and people who are doing online content do it for a way to keep their material ad-free. So for a meditation podcast, we don't want to be halfway through the meditation or even at the end and say, oh, by the way, you should buy this brand of thingamajig. Instead of doing that, we just invite people to jump on board like a subscription sort of thing.
Yeah, and it's sort of like a way to support art, a way to support creativity. And for us, that our work right now in the world is partly this kind of meditation. It's one of the things that we do that we feel we can easily share with you. At things that we do at the garden here, we like to let people know about what we're doing and kind of help you feel like you can be a part of it. So that's one thing that we can offer, and we hope that it will be a way to support our other work here at the garden.
Yeah, exactly.
Keeping the lights on and building stuff and keeping our staff member well taken care of and all that kind of stuff.
And buying belts for the sander, which you might be able to hear in the background, to be able to do woodwork. And I was thinking about it the other day and thinking, if I really liked a podcast or a meditation or like a thing that I got regularly, like once a week, like this one almost basically is, like 25 cents for each one is pretty good. Like $1 a month is super cheap. Like I'd pay a couple of bucks for a good meditation,
Totally.
Because you can reuse them. It's not like it's a once-off thing.
Yeah.
You can keep listening back to old ones.
True. It's true.
Anyway, so a little bit more information.
Yeah, about what that even means.
That's
what you were saying to me today, bro, is we say this thing all the time, but what does it mean?
Yeah.
And that's a little bit of what it means. So thank you so much.
Woohoo.
So how was your week?
Sorry, I asked you almost at the same time. We've had lots of cool stuff happening this week. Neil and some other folks from the community did a cool hike up to the highest peak on that ridge over behind us. which is quite high. They rode their motorbikes a fair bit and then like hiked, I think it's 4 hours up and 2 down or something. And Neil stayed overnight up on top of the mountain in his little tent and got up to watch the sunrise and watched some monkeys. We don't see monkeys so much.
No, we really don't.
Really at all. But there's monkeys in them there hills. There's monkeys up there. So that was pretty cool for him. And he also saw a peregrine falcon, which is the world's fastest flying thing, I think.
Wow.
Pretty sure that's right. And just saw it zooming by the cliff where he was sitting, which was super exciting because he's such a happy bird watching guy.
Yeah.
It really made his day. Yeah, and then some people hiked up with him, and then he stayed up, and then other people hiked up the next day.
Yeah, I was going to say, there was like 2 groups of people, right?
And then some of those folks hiked up that day and stayed that night, and then he hiked down that day. So it was kind of a handover.
Yeah, hand over the mountain peak.
Yeah, which sounds like it was a really great hike anyway. I think it was a lot of fun.
Glorious. That sounds fun.
Yeah, what else has been happening? We had a really nice devotion circle on Monday, just a singing circle around the fire, where we just sang lots of beautiful songs and spoke about some things that, were meaningful for us in that moment, and some things that we, wanted to thank God for. And
yeah, I feel like people really took turns, I guess, blessing us with their ideas and their thoughts and what they're figuring out and thinking about. Was good. There's a lot of good sharing happening. Yeah,
I really liked some things that your dad said as well. It was really nice to have your folks there. That's really cool.
Really beautiful. Yeah, my parents are still here, and they're gradually adjusting to life on this side of the world, and they've had some sickness, but they're recovering, so that's been nice. And we also had Benjamin and Karen come.
Yeah, that was so good.
Dear friends from California.
Too short. Come longer next time, you guys.
I know, they really need to come longer. They keep teasing us with the possibility.
Yeah.
But they fit right in. They just jump right into everything. It's great. And yeah, Neil's been building. He's nearly done with the little storage room that he's building on the side of the kitchen. We have a lot of things that we use all the time in the sala, and the way it's located, it's kind of far from the workshop, and so we can store them there very close to the sala, and then they won't get sawdust all over them.
Yeah, because our workshop is getting more and more action, which is great.
Yeah.
But it means that things like our mats are just getting dusty all the time.
Completely dusty.
Yeah, so it makes sense just to keep some more of the gardening gear and the mats and things over on that side.
Yeah.
And it's exciting. It's very beautiful. We had some guys doing some rendering yesterday, and it's just gorgeous.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It looks so pretty. It's this dark red sort of concrete render. It's so lovely.
Yeah, it's really nice.
We get excited about these kind of projects. So today's episode is a New Year's meditation from Psalm 90, verses 1 to 4, and then 12 to 14, guided by Ray and recorded here in Pai, Thailand. And the meditation's going to have 3 parts. First, Ray will guide you through some exercises to help you find quiet in your mind. Then she will read through the verses a number of times with lots of space in between, and some really beautiful imaginative guiding. It's on the theme of New Year and really zooming out and looking at time and looking at ourselves and our relationship with the divine. It's very beautiful. And then the third part of the meditation is all about processing. So you might like to journal some thoughts if you're meditating by yourself, or if you're meditating with others, you might like to pass a talking stick around and give each person an opportunity to share their experience. So just listening well to each other and not interrupting or correcting each other as each person shares.
Let's begin. So welcome to meditation at Shekina Garden. Thanks for coming. I've prepared a meditation for the new year. I really like the idea of cycles and beginnings and ends of cycles. And so in some ways they're always false, like it's just a day, but each day is also a cycle, and the year is clearly a cycle, the months are cycles. And in the Bible, God uses these times and harvests and cycles to remind us of similar things, so that each time we come upon a place in a cycle, we are reminded of some certain thing about who God is. So I feel like there's this living in the balance between the enormity of God out of time and in eternity, and then knowing that God approaches us from that place of being outside of time and enters time with us and comes into the cycle with us. That something about that is so beautiful and keeps us in perspective as people, because I think our worlds can expand and be so big in our own minds that we lose perspective of just the enormity of who God is. And then if we're living in this place where we're just seeing how big God is and how crazy everything is and that we can't know everything, we can lose the fact that God comes very close and very near to us and chooses to enter time with us. And so I want to do a meditation today that's about those two things and is a bit guided through in the sense that I'll ask you questions and read some verses and offer some ideas about letting go of things or giving thanks for things and spending time thinking about these ideas and thinking about the days to come and the days that have passed. So this meditation, like every other meditation, is a practice, and every time we do meditation, we have a different experience. And if you have meditated a lot, it will be maybe something that you can slip back into. If it's still fairly new, it can be different. Every day has its own challenges, and we come with different things every day. So we bring a lot of stuff to the meditation. We spend some time in meditation, and it changes us as we go along, like as we continue in the practice. If you find that you are distracted, you can come back to focus easily without a lot of, don't chastise yourself or be upset. Just quickly, swiftly bring yourself back and enter in again. And this is actually kind of what meditation is training yourself just to come back to the focus again and again without making a big deal about yourself or who you are, what that means about you or anything like that, but just coming back again and again. So we'll start with I'm going to guide you through some moments of preparing and being quiet and centered and helping to get to a place of where it's easy to meditate. And then moving from there, we'll go through the meditation itself. And then we will share in the talking circle, and you can share as much or as little as you like. So let's begin with posture and bones and muscles and working the kinks out. The rattling along on motorbikes, sitting on ground, we get sore in the muscles. You are free to move around during the meditation. You don't need to stay in one spot or try to keep one position. So if you need to shift, feel free to shift. And begin by really trying to stack your spine so that your shoulders are right over your hips and your head is pointing up with the crown going up, 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 up. And just start in this position and feel free to change when you need to. And let's become aware of breath. In this position, our lungs are nice and open. And as you breathe, you can follow your breath with your imagination. Imagining each breath as it expands your lungs, and then as they collapse slowly inward, all the air leaving you, and then as it comes all back in, inflating your lungs again. We have this beautiful rhythm that follows us through our lives and our days. It itself is a kind of cycle. It goes all the way in and all the way out. As this smallest cycle becomes your focus, you can allow it to just sort of slow you down. Slow your mind, slow your thoughts. Become aware of what you feel around you. Whatever it is that you feel. This is the way that you experience the world, through these senses. Maybe the air is touching your skin, or you're feeling really strongly the connection that you have to the ground. Maybe this sense of touch can invite you to really dwell in your body right now. As you bring your awareness, you become strongly in your own body, in this place and right now. Your awareness can travel to your sense of hearing. What is it that you hear around you? There are any number of sounds. Send your awareness to one, and then you can jump to another. Sound can be a helpful tool. During meditation, you can use sound to increase the depth of what you're experiencing in meditation, or it can be something that reminds you to come back to your place of focus. It can add layers of meaning or interaction to your meditation. You can be playful with sound. As we move through our body, preparing ourselves for a place and time of meditation, we can come to our thoughts. And many of these we carry with us from earlier, or we have things we're thinking about for later in the day. And often our minds return to the same thoughts again and again. So you can allow yourself to picture your thoughts, maybe as a stream that's running along beside you. Spend some time looking at the thoughts that you see as they flow past. After some time, you can start to walk alongside the stream, just following the stream of your thoughts. And then imagine that they empty into a still and quiet pool. And suddenly everything is very still and very quiet. Maybe this place is a pond or a lake. Imagine what it looks like at this place that's so quiet, so still. This is your place, somewhere for you to sit or stand. The divine presence is here with you. Happy to meet with you in this place. And the Spirit has welcomed you here. And it's a place of love. If you feel comfortable, you can offer a prayer or a word of welcome to the divine presence. Or a word of intention or desire. Today I'm asking God to meet with me. That's my desire for today. Whatever is your desire, you can say it now if you feel comfortable in your heart. Or you can just sit here in the quiet. I'm going to read these words, and as I read the first part of the meditation is for remembering the hugeness of eternity and of God, who is outside of the whole universe, who is bigger and longer and more ancient, more eternal than everything we know or can see. As I read the verses, you can really try to enter into this ancientness with your imagination. Be as playful as you like and as childlike as you can, just playing with these ideas. Our Lord, in all generations, you have been our home. You have always been God. Long before the birth of the mountains, even before you created the earth and the world, our Lord, in all generations, you have been our home. You have always been God. Long before the birth of the mountains, even before you created the earth and the world. When our lives are over, you return humans to dust. But 1,000 years mean nothing to you. They are merely a day gone by, or a few hours in the night. When our lives are over, you return humans to dust. But 1,000 years mean nothing to you. They are merely a day gone by, or a few hours in the night. From this place of seeing the ancient and foreverness of God, take some time to look through the last year. Maybe you would like to imagine that you have a bowl of small stones in front of you, and you're running your fingers through it, looking through the moments of the last year. Whatever comes to your mind, and maybe offering thanks for certain moments, or for other ones letting go, letting them drift away. Just marking this last year, but in the perspective of eternity and God who has been here before the birth of the world. As we let things that we are thankful for or that we are letting go remain behind us, from the same perspective of the eternity, the everlastingness of God, we can look to the coming days. So teach us to number our days, that we may get a heart of wisdom. Return, O Lord. Come quickly. Have mercy on us. Satisfy us in the morning with your everlasting love, so that we may have joy and be glad all our days. So teach us to number our days, so that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Return, O Lord. How long? Come quickly. Have mercy on us. Satisfy us in the morning with your everlasting love, so that we may have joy and be glad all our days. From this place of seeing God enter the cycle of our days from eternity. If you feel comfortable, you can look at the days to come and just raise them as an offering and an invitation. From everlasting to everlasting, you are God. From everlasting to everlasting, you are God. Our Lord, in all generations, you have been our home. You have always been God. Long before the birth of the mountains, even before you created the earth and the world. When we die, when our lives are over, you return humans to dust. But 1,000 years mean nothing to you. They are merely a day gone by, or a few hours in the night. So teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Return, O Lord. Come quickly. Have mercy on us. Satisfy us in the morning with your everlasting love, so that we may have joy and be glad all our days. Return to your breath. As you tie up the last bits of your meditation, you can follow your breath all the way in and all the way out of your lungs. And when you're ready, come back to the space and we'll begin our talking circle. Thank you for joining today. There will be a new guided meditation available each week, so don't forget to subscribe to iTunes or sign up for our newsletter to get podcasts delivered to your inbox at www.shekinacommunity.com/podcast newsletter. Also, you can rate or review on iTunes or sign up as a patron at patreon.com/Shekina Meditation Podcast. Have a beautiful week. Many blessings to you.